Hello everyone, my name is Jamin. Thanks so much for visiting my channel. In this video, I have a Dell Inspiron 15 3511 laptop. I'm going to show you how to get inside, access your speakers. So first thing, power down your computer the correct way. Make sure it's off and unplugged from your charger. We're then going to flip the computer over to access our bottom case screws. After taking out all the screws shown here, you're going to take a small, flat, preferably plastic pry tool. I say plastic because that's going to scratch your case a lot less than a metal one will. And you're going to go around the seam of the bottom case and pry it off from your computer. Now, don't put your pry tool too far in. You could damage some internal components. Just keep it on the edge. We like using a very thick guitar pick like you can find in most computer repair kits. Go slow but firm, and if you get stuck in a spot, leave it, go to the other direction, and start in the other direction. And it's usually best to start up here near one of these two corners. After you get your bottom case off, this is what you're looking at for the inside of your computer. Now, as a general computer repair side note, whenever I'm working on a laptop in my shop, it's sitting on an anti-static mat. Either that or an anti-static bracelet are great ideas to avoid damaging anything in your computer when you're working on it. If you would like help with any tools or supplies for your computer project, there will be a link below in the description. It'll be a list of all the tools and supplies that I use in my shop. And also, as we go through this computer to repair various components, I will have another link below in the description. It'll be a list to all the upgrade and replacement parts for this specific model computer. Now, before I touch anything inside a computer, I always make sure to remove or at least unplug my battery. A computer is safest to work on when as little power as possible is running through it. So your battery is right down here near the right bottom of my screen. You can see the screws by the M2 and the little white triangle or arrow. That shows you a battery screw. So you have one in the corner here, one down here, and one over here. So we have a couple things on this battery. You have your hard drive ribbon cable here. So to be safe, you would unhook this from the motherboard. These type of ribbon cable clips are very fragile. You have the white port, the black clip, and the ribbon cable goes underneath that black clip. That black clip is what secures the ribbon cable down. It opens kind of like a book cover. It opens from the bottom here. The hinges are on the top. So the way you would operate that is you would take a small, very, very flat pry tool, slide it carefully underneath this black clip from the bottom, and then pop that up a little bit, again, like a book cover, so that it releases the ribbon cable. If you break that black clip, you most likely will not be able to find a replacement, which means the ribbon cable will no longer be able to secure into that. So be very careful not to break it. To unplug the battery from here, you would just use your fingernails or a pry tool on either side of that plug and pull it down, wiggle it down out of that port. We try not to pull on the wires or cables if at all possible in a computer. We just try to pull on the plug. Okay, so now that the battery has been dealt with, we can proceed into the computer. So you have one set of speakers here towards the right of my screen that kind of go around the battery. And then they have a wire going all the way down here, the blue and white wire, all the way down to the speaker on the left side of my screen. This speaker on the left then uses the red, white, and blue wires to come across here and plug into the motherboard right there. Now again, we don't pull on wires as much as possible when unplugging things. There's a grip on either side of this plug. You can use your fingernails or a pry tool and wiggle that out of that port. Also, if you notice these wires are threaded just so through this computer, make sure that you either pause this video or take a picture with your phone or something. If you're replacing these speakers, make sure you run the wires exactly as it is here, because if not, when you put your bottom case back on, you could pinch these wires, especially down here, and damage your speakers. I will have a speaker replacement option below in the description in that link I told you about with all the replacement and upgrade parts for this specific model computer, if you would like that to help you find a replacement. And I guess the last thing to shout out about this operation is that if you are having sound issues, I'm not talking about if your speakers are blown. If they sound like junk every time your bass kicks in, then your speakers are blown. You definitely need to replace them. But if you're having other sound issues where the sound isn't consistent across different software, you can't seem to control it correctly, or sometimes it's off entirely, it may not be a physical speaker issue. You may be looking at a system or a driver issue. Below in the description, I will have a video tutorial link. It'll show you how to troubleshoot if your sound's not working by updating all of your drivers, updating your system, make sure everything's up to date, and rule that out before trying to open your computer and come in here for a complicated physical repair. But this is the video. This is how you open up an Inspiron 3511 and access your speakers. Thanks again so much for watching. Please remember to like and share if this helped you out, if you think it can help someone else out. And feel free to subscribe if you enjoy DIY computer content like this, or if you just want to keep me on hand to answer any of your future computer questions. I do try to answer all questions throughout my channel at least a couple times a day. Also, feel free to check out the related links section below in the description. From time to time, I do try to add things in there that I think will help you with your general computer life, make it more productive, more enjoyable. So thanks again for watching, everyone. I look forward to seeing you on my next video.